and I am here. And let's see if we got 3 people in the chat right now. It's Jason with JJ Drones, and it's been a while, guys. It's been a long while since I've been alive, and I'm coming to you from, well, I'm in Florence, Kansas right now. So if any of you can hear me and the audio is good, give me a thumbs up. I've got some thoughts from the events of the day. Hey, Johnny Small Pepper, thanks for coming in. Can you hear me all right? Just want to make sure that the audio is coming through. It's been a while. Thank you, Slaying Gaming. Thank you, Johnny Small Pepper. Tonight's live stream is going to be kind of heavy. And the last time that I did a live stream is going to be, it was heavy last time. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Robert, for being here. Hey, Tim Loffman, thank you so much for coming in. Hey, Jamie Conway, thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I thought that I was just going to be talking to myself. So, most of you, hey, Dan, thank you for being here. So we're going to see who else is going to come in. Hey, Morning Coffee with Mom, thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being in here tonight. And like I said, it's gonna be a heavy conversation because who are we as a country? Hey, Peterson Farms in Nashville, y'all are up super late. So no, I really do appreciate you guys being here. And this is not a political channel. It never has been a political channel, and I never wanted it to be a political channel. And the reason that I don't want it to be a political channel is because everybody has their own opinions. They say that opinions are like, well, you know the phrase, everybody's got one, right? And I've got my own opinions. Jamie Conway has her opinions. Dan, the droning veteran, has his opinions. Morning Coffee with Mom has her opinions. Peterson Farms in Nashville, they have their opinions. But you know what? We all come to YouTube, all with different opinions on things. Yeah, hey, hey, Nick, thank you for being here. We all have different opinions on things. Haley and I, we have different opinions on things. I have different opinions from her parents. But we don't end up hating each other for it. Who are we as a country? What have we become? I mean, I first of all, I want to say my condolences to the families that have lost loved ones today. There's a man that was just at a rally. He was at the Trump rally and was shot in the head. Eyewitness, I saw a eyewitness account that allegedly the man was shot in the head while he was sitting behind him. And another eyewitness that actually tried to do CPR to bring him back, but he was already gone. There was brain matter exploded out of his head from one person with a gun. One person, a gun that allegedly eyewitnesses have or were able to actually see him climb up the top of a building with a gun. And they were allegedly pointing out the shooter to the authorities that were there at the stupid rally, saying, hey, look, there's a guy up there. He's climbing up the building and looks like he's got a gun. Right? Who are we as a country? Where the officials at the rally wouldn't say, hey, maybe we should check that guy out. I don't know if this is true. This is just preliminary eyewitnesses accounts, and the rumor mills and the people on X and Instagram and Facebook and everybody, they're going to come up with their own conspiracy theories. And I'm calling for all of the officials in Washington, D.C., give out the guy's name, give out the reason that he did it, tell us what was on his social media, tell us what was in his email accounts, tell us everything. Because if we don't, we're already in a mess, okay? Donald Trump was shot today, yesterday. I say today because today is still kind of my today. But July 13th is going to be a day that a lot of people are going to remember for a very long time. And they're going to remember it for a very long time, not because of anything else other than the fact that this may be the thing that pushes Donald Trump over the edge into the presidency. The person who is responsible for shooting the former president may have just catapulted him into the stratosphere. And what he wanted to do is kill him. I mean, centimeters. It went through his ear. All he had to do was go a little bit further this way, and it would have gone through his head, and that would have been the end of him. And then what? Then you get shot and killed anyway? For what? What have we become? We have all these people that all they do all day is watch Fox News and watch MSNBC and CNN and name the alphabet soup channel. Hey, Joan, thank you so much. I, honest to God, used to be one of those people. I used to watch Fox News all the time. I watched all the shows. I watched Sean Hannity. I watched Laura Ingraham. I watched all of them. Whenever I wasn't driving, that's what I was doing, is watching Fox News. And I can tell you right now, my blood pressure was through the roof. You can talk to any of my friends, Robert and Manuelson, if you're still in here. You can attest to this. I'd be angry all the time. I was angry all the time. It's all the left's fault. No, it's all the right's fault. And of course, we all watch Fox News. Hey, Hunting and stuff. We all watch, or I watch Fox News because it was fair and balanced, right? But all they're doing is they're feeding you what you want to hear. I don't care if you're on the right and you want to watch Fox News or Newsmax, what have you, you're going to get whatever you want to hear from that side. Or if you're on the left and you want to hear your side, you're going to go to MSNBC or CNN or ABC, NBC, CBS, whatever. There isn't news anymore. It's all opinion. If you want to know news, you got to look it up for yourself. You have to form your own opinions based on going out there and doing the research yourself. And if you don't, well, then you're just going to be fed what you want to hear. That's what it is. It's an echo chamber. We can all live in echo chambers. That's fine. But what have we become? When have we become a society to where you cannot be friends with another person that doesn't have the same political beliefs that you have? Robert says that's why I care not to watch the news any longer. And that's true, Robert. That's very true. Why watch the news when it's just opinion? I mean, maybe there's a story on the school and maybe there's a track meet or a football game or whatever. But, I mean, they keep bringing politics into everything, including sports. Everything is politics related. That's why I came to YouTube. That's why Haley suggested that I went into YouTube, because she wanted me to get away from the news. And I did. I don't watch the news at all anymore. Nothing. Nothing at all. I don't watch Fox. I don't watch CNN, MSNBC. But tonight I did. Well, I didn't listen, or I didn't watch it. I listened to it on Sirius XM. I went through the channels. And man, let me tell you, am I I am glad that I don't listen to that stuff anymore. Oh yeah, hunting and stuff. It's awful when sports become political. I mean, sports is supposed to be your getaway from the politics, right? But tonight, it wasn't about the people that were hurt. It was about, well, this is going to be good for Trump. This is going to be bad for Biden. I mean, even CNN, I guess, had a story earlier that, Trump fell off the stage versus the fact that he got shot. But everybody else on the right is worried about, or not worried about, but basically claiming that Trump is going to be the next president. Maybe he will be. Maybe this is the one thing that pushes independence into his corner. Maybe it's not. We don't know. We're never going to know until election day, and that's November, right? We already know Trump is going to get the Republican nomination. We already know Biden's going to have the Democrat nomination. And when November comes, we're all going to have the chance to make our voices heard. But when you go out there and you try and turn political discourse into violence, you are completely dismantling the reason that this country was founded in the first place. This is supposed to be a peaceful transfer of power. We're not supposed to go after our political enemies with force or with violence. We're supposed to be able to have rational conversations between people. Hunting and Stuff says the CNN headline was that the Secret Service rushed Trump off stage after he fell. Okay, Hunting and Stuff, I'm going to take your word on that. But I mean, I have no reason to doubt you. I have actually heard that as well. But I mean, we're getting to the point where we're demonizing people to the point that people are afraid. And when people become afraid, then they think they only have one option. Hey, you're Bexy. Thank you for coming in. But that option is not violence. It should never be violence. Political discourse is supposed to be putting your thoughts and putting your ideas out there. And if you have a better idea, you should be able to explain that better idea. Let's say that Nick has, a better bow and arrow to shoot deer with, but I think that I have the better bow and arrow to shoot deer with. Well, we're not going to go out there and shoot the I'm not going to take my bow and arrow and go shoot Nick with it. No, I'm going to go out and I'm going to show him. I'm going to say, look, Nick, this is why it's better. It's the same thing in politics. We're supposed to be able to have the debates. We're supposed to be able to debate the issues intelligently instead of just saying, well, he's Hitler, or they're just the worst person on the planet. Your Bexy says, one thing to think about, had that round been an inch to the left, America might have been heading to civil war. The U.S. needs to find some middle ground. And your Bexy, that's exactly the point. It's exactly the point. If that round would have killed Donald Trump, there would have been an uproar that would make George Floyd look like a kid's birthday party. If you look at the polls, Donald Trump is actually a more favored candidate than Joe Biden, allegedly. It's what I've heard on multiple channels today. So I'm going to take that as face value from multiple sources from what I've heard today. So if that were the case, then you have a whole bunch of people going out there and celebrating on one end, but then on the other end, you're going to have a whole bunch of angry people that are going to be going out there to the streets. And yes, they do shout them down. But I mean, this has been going on for a long time now. If you go back and you look at, let's see here, Slane Gaming says, I used to only listen to conservatives and news outlets like Fox, but then I realized I was being a sheep and went and did my own research. And Slane, that is exactly what I'm getting to as well. I was a Republican pretty much all my life until this whole drone situation came out. And when I learned that the Republicans are just as bad as the Democrats, there is no Republican and Democrat anymore. They're all one big party. It's just who's getting the money from where. I mean, we went into a long history over things that were happening with the drone thing and DJI and Skydio, and how bad it looks for Skydio, and how DJI is trying to get banned, or they're trying to ban DJI drones because they think they can do things that they can't. It's insane. Gator Jake says, our family is very saddened by the events of the evening. When violence is the answer, we have lost ourselves. And Gator Jake, that makes us no better than any other third world country out there. It makes us no better. We used to be a civil society. Where did that go? Your Bexy says U.S. population 320 million. Come on, you have better option than those two. I would vote Nick for president. Any day that ends in Y, Nick is president. In my head, Nick is a man, and that's another thing. If we could get men and women in office that actually had, I don't know, morals, values, people that actually cared about this country and not what the lobbyists are going to pay them, that would be nice. This Trump stuff is all news to me. I watch no news. Well, that's good, Tim. I got a phone call from my dad earlier today, and that was how I found out about it. And I wasn't really going to talk about it, and I wasn't even going to look it up. But I wanted to see what I would hear from the right and from the left. And I can tell you right now that there's a whole bunch of people on X, formerly, or that used to be Twitter, that are going out there and they're making jokes. They're celebrating this. That they're going out there and they're saying, well, maybe it would have been better if he was dead. Oh, and your Bexy, you probably came in after I said this, but I said that I hope that the authorities actually release some of his information that he had on social media, because this is all going to be, I've already heard of many conspiracy theories tonight. Many. Gator Jake says, I don't give a crap if your party. Violence is never warranted. I served this country for 32 years. For what? Why? I feel so betrayed sometimes. And Gator Jake, I'm sorry, brother. I am. I feel for you and for all of our veterans that have fought for this country. Go into office, civil servants, and come out millionaires? Right. Yeah, we don't have any people of moral character in office at all. None. Once they get in, I mean, once they get into office, it's their ticket to fame and fortune is what it is. There's been many politicians that I thought were great. I could say, um, oh, I'm not going to name names, but I can tell you that they went into office saying that they were going to live or they were going to, work for the people, and then they get a contract with a news channel, and then they take off. I thought Mike Gallagher was a great politician. I thought he was a great conservative politician and a veteran from the state of Wisconsin. But you know, when money started flowing into his pockets, he was more than happy to abandon his conservative principles. Elise Stefanik out of New York, she's abandoned any conservative principle she's had because Skydio. Hey, Tools, Trucks, Trails, thanks for coming in. Political violence is the opposite of democracy. Democracy just doesn't just work when things go our way. And your Bexy, we're not even a democracy. We're a representative republic. We have a democratic way of voting, but we are not a democracy. But democracy is majority rule, and they don't usually work out all that well. That is why our founders framed our Constitution the way that they did. But in order for us to keep our representative republic, we have to be men and women of honor, not of violence, of honor. We have to be able to talk to one another. If we don't agree with one another, we have to have a civil conversation, and sometimes we have to just agree to disagree. Peterson Farms in Nashville says voting their own health care, retirement, stock insider trading, and no term limits on top of that. And Peterson Farms, I can tell you right now, if I were king of the United States for a day, the first thing that Congress would do is they would go back to living or to working as a part-time Congress, the way that it was started, and they would go back to their districts and have to live underneath the laws that they create. And they would have a very small stipend for pay to go back and forth. And thank you for coming in, Wagyu Trump 2024. And you're going to be seeing that a lot. Hey, Hunting and Stuff, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. I understand it. And I'm just trying to get this stuff off my chest so I can go to sleep. But the biggest thing is that we need to be able to talk to each other. We have to have civil discourse. We have to discuss the issues without name calling. It's almost like we're back in elementary school, and the only thing that our politicians can do is say, this person is Hitler, this person is bad, this person is going to take away all your rights, this person is going to take away your birth control, this person's going to make you not able to get an abortion, this one over here is going to put you in jail because you look funny. Right? Hey, Gator Jake, I understand your heart is hurting right now. I really feel for you, brother. And it is. It's so easy to spend anyone else's money if you don't have a conscience. Peterson Farms in Nashville, send me $500. And then I'll talk to you anytime you want me to. Okay? Got it? And I'll spend it however I feel like it. You wouldn't do that. Nobody would do that. None of this makes any sense, guys. If you're on the left, you should be mad that this guy did this. You shouldn't be hoping that maybe it would have, killed him. You should be angry. Because according to everything I've heard today from the left and the right, that this could propel Trump to the presidency. We don't know. We'll find out. If you're on the right, of course you're going to be angry. But you should be celebrating the fact that that may possibly happen. But everybody, left and right, we should be able to come together and just be able to say that violence is wrong. It's wrong. Violence is wrong for any reason whatsoever. If you don't like Trump and you don't like his supporters, that's fine. You don't have to like him. If you don't like Biden, you don't like his supporters, you don't have to like them either. It's a free country. You have the right to disagree with whoever you want to disagree with. We don't have anything in this country that says that you're not able to disagree with a politician. I disagree with a lot of politicians. I've done multiple live streams where I have disagreed with Republican politicians. Self-preservation is a right through a natural law. Well, maybe. But we have laws in this country too about violence. Especially, you do violence against a politician and you get caught, you're either going to face harsh punishments or the death penalty, or you'll just be shot on sight like this guy was. Let's see, it's a fundamental right as an American that many don't have in the world to criticize government servants. That's because they're our employees. They are not masters. They are not our leaders. They are our subjects. And that is one thing that they have forgotten. And they never will remember that, because they've gotten so much power in their hands that we are not going to have the option to ever take that back unless we, the people, stand up. Let's see here. Tools, trucks, trails. I absolutely agree with you that violence is wrong, but many in our country disagree. They think words are more powerful than actions now. They don't want the First Amendment. Well, First Amendment's been held up by the Supreme Court more times than not. Tools, trucks, trails. And, words are definitely powerful, especially by these news channels that keep on putting out these stories and these opinions that actually go and affect people that have mental health issues. And that's where you run into these people. I mean, let's say, for example, a few years ago, there was a school group that was out in Washington, D.C. taking tours around the Capitol. And a young boy, or teenage boy, Nick Sandman, who was wearing a Make America Great Again hat, was confronted by a Native American who was banging on a drum, and Mr. Sandman actually stood there in front of the Native American being very respectful, and all he did was just sit there and smile. He said he was an evil smirk, right? So he was vilified in the media. But in the end, it turned out that he wasn't doing anything wrong, and CNN gave some sort of, undisclosed settlement with him. Apparently, You don't have to you don't have to have any sort of, I don't know, courtesy for anybody that's a supporter of Donald Trump, because apparently he is Satan himself. So anybody that follows him is a follower of Satan and should be destroyed, because the person that was shooting into the crowd, the person that was shooting at Donald Trump, had absolutely zero care for anybody that was in that stadium. He would have taken out Donald Trump, and he's already taken out one person, and there's another person that was injured. I don't know the final total, but at least I know there were 2 people injured and 1 person killed. And the 2 people that were injured, one was Donald Trump. So this is just, it's crazy what this country is becoming. We need to go back to civil discourse. We need to start at the top. We need to start with the president. We need to start with Congress. These people need to stop using such harsh rhetoric against another person. You can say their ideas are bad without calling them Hitler. You can. It's possible. You say his ideas are bad because my ideas are better. This is why. Right? Let's see here. Let me go back into the chat here real quick. I'm not going to go on for a whole lot longer, guys. But I do want to go back to, let's see here. Gator Jake said political equivalent. You cannot find the rule of law clause specifically authorizing congressional authority to change or repeal the first 10 enumerations. That is true. With words being classed as so offensive there these days, how fragile are people getting these? Yes, people are extremely fragile. You're Bexy. Hey Dave, thank you so much for coming in. You shouldn't be up so late. But I guess tomorrow's Sunday, so you don't have school. Oh, and it's summertime too, so. Let's see here. The Congress shall have the power to... And that's the thing with the Constitution. The Constitution is not there to enslave us. The Constitution was made there to make sure that our rights were protected. Yes, if anyone remembers the old school civics class, they will remember that the first 10 enumerations of the Bill of Rights are not permissions. They are restrictions on government powers. That is exactly right. Recognized in the Constitution as God-given, not government-granted. Kid was vilified for putting on black face paint on his face because he was at a sports event and wanted the team colors on his face. Yes, that I've heard that too. Let's see here. Your Bexy says true. Even the First Amendment, it doesn't mean you have a right. It means Congress cannot create laws to affect your right. That is, and that's why the First Amendment has been used in multiple arguments in the Supreme Court. Thank you, Tools Truck Trails. Appreciate you being on here. He says, gotta go now. Great chatting with you all. Agree with you, Jason. Now's the time to stand up together and have civil discourse so we can see where we agree or disagree without violence. Good night. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate that comment. And let's see here, which is also why people have to stop saying my Second Amendment right. Yes. It's an article of absolution, is a contract with the Congress, and that's a whole nother conversation, my friend. Whole nother conversation. Gator Jake, I appreciate you coming on. I kind of needed to hear from patriots. Well, Gator Jake, that's why I came on, and I figured maybe I'd have 1 or 2 people I wasn't expecting to have, the crowd that I had tonight. I'm going to leave it with this, and then we're going to close up the live stream for the night. But I do thank all of you that were here tonight. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been on the show. Haley and I are going to have an announcement probably around the 24th. So hopefully some of you will be there on the 24th when we do a live stream together. And it's going to be an exciting show. So I'm not going to give away anything that's going to happen that night. So you're going to have to be there July 24th. But this is what I'm going to close the live stream with. You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you. We can have a conversation about our beliefs. And we can have them civilly. We can have a conversation. I was a never Trumper back in 2016. I didn't think he was going to be a good president, and I didn't vote for him. I didn't. Right now, I don't know who I'm going to vote for in the 2024 election. But if I choose to vote for Donald Trump, I shouldn't be vilified for it. And if I choose to vote for Joe Biden, Dan's going to put a pie in my face. But the big thing, thank you, you're Bexy. The biggest thing is that we have the right to disagree with one another without having to worry about what the recourse is going to be. Yeah, maybe you're going to lose a friend. DIY American says, what? We don't have to be mean to each other? No, that's not what they're teaching nowadays. Yeah, I mean, you do whatever you want. But I would hope that we'd be able to settle our differences civilly and peacefully, because that is the way to true happiness. When you can find that inner peace, when you can agree to disagree. Thank you so much for coming in, Nick. Appreciate you being here. And I appreciate that. And there is. Everybody's in their own tribes. You got the Democrats tribe, you got the Republican tribe, you got the left, you got the right. Everybody's in their own tribe. When we're supposed to be one American family. I don't know if we had another 9/11, if we would come together the way that we did. I don't know if we're really that far apart from each other already. But we truly need to unite. We have to remember that we're all Americans and that we all have the power to make things better. Our politicians don't make things better. We do. We the people. We make things better. We don't depend on the politicians to make our lives better. That is not their job. Their job is to ensure that our rights are preserved. That is their job. Our job is to make our lives better. And if we don't like the way that they're doing it, then we vote them out every 4 years, 2 years, or 6 years. And we continue to do that until we find people that agree with us. But we don't do it violently. We do it in the ballot box. That is our duty as Americans. I'm calling every one of you today. Every one of you today who's watching this live stream. I want you to do a hashtag. Say no to violence. Put it on your profiles. Put it on your Facebook. Share this live stream. Hashtag say no to violence. Show everybody that you do not agree that violence is the answer. That's fine. You don't have to have one. But if you do, and you don't even have to do it on a profile or anything, just do it in the chat. Do it in the comment section or anything in here. Hashtag say no to violence. And this is for anybody that's watching this on the replays. Because when we become violent, we become no better than the people that we don't like. And we don't have honor when we get violent. Let's be people, men and women of honor. Let's be we the people. Let's make our own lives better. Let's not depend on the politicians. Politics is not your life. And if it is, try and find something outside of politics. Because I did it. I found something out of politics, and I made so many friends from all around the country. And I don't necessarily agree with all of them on everything, but I love all of them. And I don't love them because of their politics. I love them because of who they are as a person. I love my in-laws. We won't agree on anything politically. I love my wife. We agree on most things, but we don't agree on everything politically either. But I will never be violent towards them. And I'll always love them. And we can agree to disagree. And that's the way that America should be. Yes, regardless of your politics. I thank everybody for coming along for this ride with me. And we'll see you later on down the road. Have a good night, everybody.